We're not plotting. We're telling you how to appropriately wash your hands.
Yeah. Pandemic time.
Except you should use soap.
Welcome to Grawlix Nights. I'm Randy.
I'm Melanie.
And I'm Jesse.
And hey, we're here to talk about some TV and entertainment news, what we watched, and we're here to get your thoughts.
Yeah.
What's up? What up?
What up? Sup, yo.
Oh, I like that. That's fun. All right, let me do. Now I got to do my normal behind the scenes stuff.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Right as we go live. Right as the reactor core is about to blow.
There we go. Yeah, because we're gonna reactor at all the news.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not where I put that link. Shh, ignore me.
Ignore me. Man, I still can't get my nephew to watch Venture Brothers, and I don't know why, because it's so good.
It is.
I wonder what the disconnect is. Like, what is it that
it's Hulu.
No. What?
It's Hulu. Hulu keeps stopping in the middle of the show and then just kicking it out. And I'm like, stop doing that because it's a good show and he'll like it.
Hulu is weird and buggy like that. It'll do that with shows.
I haven't had too much issue with that.
Everyone can sing and hear me. It says.
All right. The main reactors, the reactor core. Okay, so first
the core reactors. How about that?
That's right.
We are. Man, that is an old meme, right? Like, do people still get that reference? Cash me outside. How about that?
I don't know if they do. It is old meme though,
right?
Yeah.
I don't. So I had mentioned last week we might have a guest. I'm gonna blame myself for this. I forgot to follow up with him. But I was gonna have Dustin Smothers come on. Particularly, I had asked him,
or he was gonna come tonight.
I don't think I'm guessing he's not available. I forgot to follow up with him. Like we agreed, like next week it'll be great. And then I just spaced off following up, and he has not replied to my message, so he's probably busy.
Man, that would have been awesome.
I was hoping
you guys missed out.
I was hoping to get him last week, which is why I asked. Why I asked initially, because we had so many political stories.
Dude, he would have been the saltiest of all. He would have made us all look like sodium free.
Right. He gets so worked up. But that aside, like he's still fun to talk.
Oh yeah.
And he could talk, man. Dustin Smothers. Speaking of political news stories, tonight I have lots of news. For the most part, it's not heavy. There's no hot button. Well, I mean, we're gonna find a hot button.
It's like the very first one.
We're just gonna start hitting
easily. You could easily go, oh, why is this such a big deal? Why is this such a big deal? Who made this the most important thing this week, according to him?
Right. Well, no, we're not getting. I don't have that follow-up. I don't have that follow-up story.
Okay. What could I be talking about?
Yes. Ooh. I tell you what.
Okay. Tell me.
People need to listen to the show. Last episode was good. I should have went through and did a proper edit of the audio, but I actually ended up listening to and rewatching the video, like the whole thing of it. And I didn't mean to. I just would click in there and start watching, and then just watch the whole thing. It's so good.
Oh, that is a good sign.
Right. This episode.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. It's gonna be great.
That's how it works, though, right? Like you can't, yeah.
Melanie,
tough act to follow.
Melanie made me feel bad about it.
Why?
Because you were like, oh, I'm just being self-deprecating to our show. Don't take it personal. Okay. First, as we usually do, let's talk a little bit about what we've been watching. No head shakes.
Legion.
Hey, you guys have been watching things. I'm the lame duck this episode because I've basically been trying to catch up on The Flash, and that's it. And it's old. It's so old. It's on Netflix old.
Like I need to do the same.
Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, honestly, yeah. So Melanie and I have a couple things to talk about, but not that much. And I was thinking about it. I was like, well, what have I watched? And I was like, well, there's this and this. That's it. So, like, I haven't really been watching that much. Also, chat, what have you guys been watching? And right now, it looks like by chat, I mean primarily Savannah and Paul.
Yeah, because I'm number 3. As usual.
Yeah,
so what have you guys been watching? Melanie mentioned Legion.
Yes, I love Legion.
Legion's not brand new.
No.
Season 3 ended a while ago. It's the last season. But we just started it recently, season 3.
What's it on? Because I definitely
it is on Hulu.
It is on Hulu. Good. Okay, so I will
watch it all
because I love that show, and it always ends with such a weird like season ender. So I'll probably have to go back and watch the end of season 2 so I remember where.
You've already watched the first 2 seasons. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
But they always end so weird. Like it ended real weird at the end of season 2, if I remember correctly.
This one starts real weird.
That tracks.
Did we talk about that last week, or was that after last week's episode?
I don't remember.
So we started watching it, and I didn't tell. I do this thing where like I'll put a show on, and I try to like not tell Melanie what it is. Netflix and stuff will put up the title, so it's hard. But Hulu doesn't necessarily put up the title when you start a video file, and so I didn't tell her, and I'm just waiting for her to figure it out. The first episode of season 3 goes 18 minutes before they give you any indication of what it is or show you any actors from the show. It follows this other thing for 18 minutes. And part of that 18 minutes is like a weird 60s pop song music video. And it's just like so bizarre. And the whole time I'm like, Melanie's like, because I couldn't tell
like getting progressively madder. Like, what are we watching? What is this?
Well, she's like, well, what's going on? She's like, I like it, but where is this going? What's going on? And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm like, this is crazy. I like it, but what is it? I mean, I still don't understand anything that's going on right now.
And then Lenny, the what's her name? Is it Audrey Plaza? Shows up, and Melanie's like, oh, because she's a thing with us, Audrey Plaza.
She's so awkward and she's strange.
She's great. Watch her compilations of talk show clips on YouTube. It's amazing. But she shows up and Melanie's like, oh, and I was like, okay, she figured it out. And then once she actually, like, somebody calls her by Lenny, she's like, oh, it's Legion. I was like, oh, you hadn't. Okay.
Well, I mean, she's in other things too.
Right. Of course. Legion season 3, we're 4 episodes in.
Okay.
It's so good.
That show is
so good.
It is. I love it.
Within one episode, you can go from like ridiculous, weird hippie stuff, just like commune and hippie stuff and drug trips, to like horror movie, to David Lynch freeze frame sequences that are subtitled. It's like, what is going on? It's so good.
Yeah, it is.
Savannah says, I love Audrey Plaza. That doesn't surprise me. Audrey Plaza seems like somebody Savannah would love.
Yeah, it should be. Everyone should love her.
I thought there was something else related to that.
We're caught up on this. Go ahead.
Oh, I just want to comment real quick. Paul said just finished Avatar: The Last Airbender. Yeah, apparently that's been, of course, it's an older show at this point, but that addition to Netflix has been a very big success for Netflix. Apparently, that's been one of their most viewed shows this summer.
It's because it's the best, and that's all anybody wants to do is just watch it from the beginning to the end over and over, because it's Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I made every child I ever watched it. I'm like, oh, look what's on. It's Airbender. It's time to sit down and watch some TV.
I've heard children and I've heard adults say how good the show is, and I've never watched any of it.
Any of it?
Are you serious? That totally surprises me, because it's like martial arts.
No, I know. Like it really is a show that I should watch.
Yeah,
but at this point, I'm like, that sounds like a really big time commitment.
Kind of, but it goes quick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not like a fanatic about it. I haven't watched. I don't know. Maybe I've watched a handful of episodes, but I did appreciate that. Yeah, it's good because it's not one of those shows that feels like it has to talk down to children,
Right.
and it's also like got a lot of cool ideas. It's well executed, so that I understand the appeal to adults because it's just a good show as opposed to a good kids show. You know
Right.
what I mean?
What was it? Was it Covert Nerd? I feel like Covert Nerd covered this, like shows that stand the test of time, and like what do you think is a show that you're watching now that will be a classic? You know, like I think they were talking about like Transformers is such a classic, da 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 da, and it was like, well, what do you think will be considered a classic? And I believe it was Airbender. I believe.
Oh, yeah. For sure. I mean, it's like political. It's like a coming of age thing. It's a superpower movie. I mean, it's like the Princess Bride of cartoon shows.
Oh wow!
It's that good.
Savannah says I still can't finish Westworld because HBO sucks.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that stinks.
Can you cancel? I don't know, man. Yeah, it's a weird deal. HBO
Isn't the Amazon thing like month to month? Like I
was gonna say, can you cancel
that?
Just buy it through another service?
Probably be cheaper.
I seen you can even buy it through Hulu. I'm like, what?
Which is run at least partly by Disney, so that seems like a conflict of interest. I don't know.
They just need to get their act together. HBO Now, I'm glad we mentioned this, or HBO Max. I'm glad we mentioned this because I'm going to hold on to it for a while. I guess I should hold on to it for a year because I got their like pre-order promo deal. But as it is now, man, like they're not. I said it last week. They're not doing themselves any favors.
Right.
Oh, you didn't want to cancel because of us? I got HBO Max, so don't worry about it.
It sucks.
I ain't using your account now anyway. HBO account, that is.
I did notice that the what is it? Us is out on HBO Max right now, so I'm excited to like watch it. Have you guys seen it yet? Us?
Yeah. Have you? You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen that one. I've seen Get Out, but I haven't seen Us.
Do you know what Hands Across America was from like the 80s?
Vaguely, yeah. I think.
Look into it a little bit.
Yeah, the just the movement, or is there a show?
No,
yeah,
just the movement. Okay, I remembered. I like didn't know what it was.
Oh yeah, no, I vaguely remember it, but it was like a blip on the radar. It's about the same thing as like We Are the World, that whole thing,
right?
Like
right,
like the new one.
Okay, well, okay, it's good to know what that is before you watch that movie. Is all I'm saying.
Oh, gotcha.
Like,
okay,
that was an element that I was like, because I vaguely remember it, but.
Yeah.
Was that like 86, 87?
Or early 90s at the latest.
I wasn't really aware of the whole deal. So, whatever. It's Jordan. Was it Jordan Peele? His movies have a lot of different themes going on, and that plays into kind of one of the themes.
I had heard that it was good, but it didn't seem to get the same traction that Get Out did. So.
Yeah, it's different. I appreciate it. I think I liked Get Out more.
But that movie was so trippy.
Yeah.
Like I kind of want to revisit it now, knowing knowing the movie, knowing where it's going, so I can see all the other stuff that's probably just more obvious now that you know. It's almost like watching a Shyamalan movie the second time. Well, I mean, back when he was good.
Right.
Us is definitely one of those movies that you're gonna, after you watch it, you're gonna go back and like rewatch it because it's like the whole movie is like just a big symbolic thing. I don't know. You have to watch it, you'll see.
Melanie, you said, what did you say? We finished something, or you finished something?
No, I just said or maybe we already knew we were caught up on What We Do in the Shadows. We were current on it.
You're current on it?
Yeah, we're current.
I think I watched maybe one more episode. which I'm still loving it. I wish I could get a little further in it because
right.
Like Holly watched the movie with me, and she watched the first episode, and she does not like anything that's like kind of cringy, and this definitely does dip into cringy territory once in a while, but I would argue it is much funnier than most cringy shows.
Melanie has no problem with it, and that blows my mind because she cannot watch stuff like The Office.
But it's
not
it's
that
not
bad,
the
I don't
same.
think.
And they're
Guillermo or Gizmo
Yeah.
he gets some pretty good Office-esque moments.
Yeah, but I think the part of the thing is that, I mean,
that's fantasy cringe.
They're not real. You know what I mean? So I don't care as much. But
the social situations are too far out there to.
Yeah,
right.
I guess when you're wearing a vampire cape in a basically a rave party situation.
Yeah,
right.
I don't care if you embarrass yourself by saying "bat" every time you turn into a bat.
Right.
That's not. So what? You can turn into a bat. What do I care? But if you're like some regular person, and you like stumble every time you go to the water cooler, I'm gonna cry for you. Because.
Oh my God, the cursed hat episode was so good.
That sucking sensation on the back of my head.
Yes.
And they
the werewolf episode before that with the Edward Scissorhand Hedges.
The show goes a little far sometimes, I think, in my opinion. It's way out there.
Yeah.
Good.
I started watching, and I think it was a recommendation, or at least somebody had mentioned it in the chat, and I want to say it was Paul, maybe. Future Man on Hulu. I started watching that. I think I'm just like 3 episodes in. It's a comedy. It's basically Last Starfighter, except instead of aliens or whatever it was, instead of space, it's the future. So basically this guy is kind of a loser, and he's really good at this one video game that nobody's ever beat, and he beats it. And then it turns out it was like a recruitment from these future warriors, and they come back and they're like, we're real and blah, blah, blah. Now let's go to 1969.
Okay. I remember some of the promos for that show.
Right.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Interesting. I didn't realize it was so heavily like straight up from The Last Starfighter right there.
Because meta is what it is. They straight up call it out at one point. Like
good.
At one point, the two like people who were in the video game come back for the future, and he's like, The Last Starfighter, and they're like, what? And he's like, this is The Last Starfighter. He even calls it out straight up. So
yeah, that's awesome.
It's good. It's entertaining. It's a little broad, the humor is a little broad. But so far, it's mainly been a lot of like time travel hijinks, so that's kind of fun.
I mean, that doesn't stink.
Yeah, right. So, yeah. And okay, so it's so far only 3 episodes in. It's basically Last Starfighter meets Back to the Future, and to the point to where there's a lot of like when they go back to 1969. There's that certain like Back to the Future stinger sound that like.
Oh yes, I know which one.
Constantly.
Yeah. I actually made that my notification sound on my phone.
That kind of mysterious, like I can't. Yeah, kind of. They use that constantly, or at least a sound alike.
Yeah. Ha! Speaking of that, I haven't listened to this yet, but today. It was either today or yesterday. Speaking of time travel and whatnot, the 8th Doctor box set that just came out for Big Finish brought back the Curator. So Tom Baker is in this box set, but he is in this box set as the Curator. And so I'm super interested and excited to get this. So, I mean, obviously I'm going to get it, but I'm so far behind that I still have to listen to like the last 2 8th Doctors to get there. But I'll get there. Oh, I will.
That reminds me of something. This kind of dips into news slightly. When was this announced? This was announced... You don't date your news website? Doctor Who.tv. Oh, well, it's Doctor Who's official site. They're going to have a 4th and 10th Doctor crossover in audio drama.
I did see that. Yeah, no, that was an exciting. They just did like a stinger thing. It was like 10 till 4 was the image or something.
Okay.
Oh.
But yeah, listen, give us as much Tom Baker as you possibly can.
Oh, please.
Possibly can.
Because we're not going to get a lot more. I mean, like I'm grateful for the John Hurt Doctor that we got,
right.
But like just as much as that man can do, let's get him.
Keep doing it.
Yeah.
No rest. No rest till you're dead.
He doesn't even have to leave his house now. They've got him all set up because of the pandemic. They've got him set up to record these at his home. So like that's got to be easier for him, right?
Right. Oh, I wonder if he's still, because apparently he does the thing where after they're recording, he'll take the script and just throw it. It's like a loose sheets, and he'll just throw it, and that's like a thing that he always does. I wonder if he still does that in his house. If it's like he throws it and then he's just like,
I'm sure he's got like
somebody to pick it up for him.
A maid or somebody that actually cleans, because that'd be even better. That'd be even better.
Like, Ramada, get in here.
Yeah. Was this very first episode was the robot or something like that?
I'm intrigued to hear what they do with the curator specifically, because it's such a weird character, and it feels like. So are they going to expand on what that means? Because it was.
I mean, I assume they will.
The Doctor
only in the way that like Tom Baker can, which is to not give you any more details at all, and just be really bizarre and I don't know.
That's it. Just be bizarre. That's all we need.
I mean, that's that character, right? Who's just like acts like he knows things, but then also says it weird, so you're not sure if he does or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's like on the nose. You're like, what? And that's it. I'm gonna leave it at that.
And he's so Tom Baker about it, so he's like super excited and like, ooh, did I give away too much? Like, I don't know. Did you? Who are you?
All right. Was there anything else we want to talk about before we get into news?
Nope.
Okay, so we're gonna start with this, and this is mainly kind of like there's not really even a political aspect to get into. So HBO's Watchmen to stream for free online starting on June 10th. I don't know that's
tomorrow.
Oh, it is. Okay. I thought it was ending on that, but I didn't realize the 19th was tomorrow. So yeah. So this weekend, now here's the downside to this is like, it's from tomorrow, Friday till Sunday. So if you're going to watch it for free, the Watchmen series, you got the weekend.
Yeah.
But HBO basically, because, and we mentioned this a few episodes ago when we were talking about it, as we were watching through it, it's very, race plays a huge part of the series.
Don't they talk about the Tulsa?
Mm-hmm.
This whole series opens with the Tulsa massacre thing.
Right.
And kind of the ongoing plot is driven by that and white supremacy and race relations and white supremacy in police force. Like it's
timely.
It is. Well, it's sadly it's not. It's apparently just all the time. But right now it does seem super timely.
Right.
So to celebrate Juneteenth and just everything going on, HBO is making it available for free to watch till Sunday, June 21st. It'll be on HBO.com as well as via on-demand platforms. This is according to HBO. Quote, as an extension of the network's content offering, highlighting Black experiences, voices, and storytellers. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I say watch it. If you've got the weekend free, it's 9 episodes. They're like, what, about an hour long? Maybe 40 minutes to an hour. You know how HBO does. I enjoyed the series quite a bit. It's Watchmen.
Mm-hmm.
It is very timely, and Yeah, it's good.
And Lube Man. They don't even call him Lube Man.
Okay, so should we give a slight spoiler on Lube Man? And
It-
basically, the
It's
slight
one
spoiler.
spot.
The slight spoiler is there's no spoiler. There's one character that shows up, Lube Man. Fascinating. He shows up once, never again.
Yep.
Never again. At the end of the, like, regardless of everything that happens at the end, Melanie's like, what happened to Lube Man? So apparently HBO was going to make this a regular series. This is something reading the story. I'm on EW.com now that I didn't realize is originally it was pitched as like an ongoing series, and Lindelof, it's what, David Lindelof?
Damon
Lindelof, the showrunner, was basically like, all right, one season, that's it. That's all the story I got. I'm not going to continue. So it became like a one season thing. Technically, HBO could then just bring on a new showrunner. But as it is, it just seems like they're just going to let it sit.
They need to explain him to me.
Lube Man.
What's his motivation? Where did this come from? I mean, he comes out of nowhere. What does he like? Grab something? He grabs something. He runs, sprays some oil on himself, and slides into the sewer.
He's gone.
That's great.
Yeah. So yeah, anyway, that's it. That's the whole story. I it's cool that HBO is doing that. And since it also happens to be a very good show that fits our shtick, our Grawlix shtick with the Watchmen connection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thought I'd mention it. Go watch it. It's good.
It is.
As you would expect, it's Watchmen and it's HBO, so it's rated R. So,
And interestingly enough, we went from Doctor Who to the Watchmen. So who watches the Watchmen?
Oh,
Batman.
Batman.
He does. He does actually. He does in that little crossover thing. He's like, "Why is this button in my bat cave? How did it get here?" Flash, I'm looking at you. It's usually the Flash.
I'm just gonna put that up there again. Audio listeners, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna read the comment. You're gonna have to join us Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Facebook.com/Grawlix Podcast or Twitch.tv/Grawlix Podcast. Okay, so we talked about that a little bit. He's only watched one more episode.
Last week. I haven't watched a lot of new things this week because Holly doesn't particularly love the show.
Yeah,
but I think I don't know. She might get into it. We'll see.
I wish I could find shows Melanie doesn't like. I got nothing to watch.
That actually is a problem because it's like, oh, I can't watch that because she loves it and she's at work right now.
Yeah,
can't watch that. Same problem.
That's when I watch shows like The Crown and all my depressed Scandinavian Norwegian murder detectives.
Right.
I might like some of those.
No, I know. I'll make you watch. Sometimes I'll make you watch them, like that one season of Broadchurch and Black Spot.
Yeah, I wanted to watch Black Spot anyway, though.
You mean the only season of Broadchurch?
Yeah,
right. Yeah. There was some weird like fan fiction that they called season 3 or something. It was okay.
Yeah.
It's weird that they jumped to season 3 though.
Yeah, I mean, like, what happened to 2?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess if it's not worth doing, it's not worth doing.
Right. Exactly. They must have read something that some chibi looking guy put together and she's like, nah, we're gonna pass on that.
Yeah.
That kind of undermines the character from season 1 totally 100%.
Yeah, it's not even the same guy, is it?
No, it's really not. Oh, Luther was amazing. That's one I watched one episode, the first episode, and I don't know if I got pulled away or just wasn't feeling it, but I'll revisit it. Hulu likes to advertise Luther, that's for sure. That's moody British detective, which is, also a good moody detective.
Yeah.
Okay. So this I mentioned because of the director attached, of course, but also the story sounds intriguing, and I want to know what this director would have to do with it. So actually, I should start doing this again, shouldn't I?
Yes, do it.
Share screen. Screen 2. Universal acquires Adrian McKinty novel The Chain with Edgar Wright directing and Jane Goldman writing.
Ooh.
So Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now here's so there's not much, the headline pretty much lays out the information. It's not under production yet, but it's like, people are signing on apparently. And the script will be written by Jane Goldman, who did Kingsman, The Golden Circle, and X-Men First Class. I'm sure other things, but okay. Everybody knows Edgar Wright. Now here's the thing that I was like, okay, cool, Edgar Wright movie, but like, what's The Chain? I've never heard of the book. I'm sorry. But apparently the book tells the story. This is from deadline.com. This is their kind of rundown of the book. The Chain tells the story of Rachel, who learns that her 11-year-old daughter has been kidnapped. The only way to get her back is to kidnap another child. Her daughter will be released only when that next victim's parents kidnap another child. So yeah, okay, and on and on. So basically it's like a chain of like, somebody kidnaps your child, you have to go kidnap a child, and then their parents have to go kidnap a child, and then it's a chain of weird child kidnappings where the parents of the last child have to kidnap the next one. And I'm like, that's such a bizarre idea, and generally like so not an Edgar Wright sounding story.
No, really not.
Fascinated to see what he does with it.
You know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of those like platforms where you like go in with like a paper clip and then you just trade up until you end up with a car. It seems like it's kind of like that. You're like, I'm gonna steal this kid from the ghetto, and then I would tell his mom to go steal this kid from, I don't know,
some other neighborhood
or something, and then
yeah.
Which is probably what they do. Yeah.
Interesting premise, and a kind of a change. When I first started for Edgar Wright, when I first started reading the synopsis there, and in my head, like I was like, this is kind of sounds like a standard thriller. This is like not at all his like normal wheelhouse for his films. But then like reading further, I was like, oh, there's a weird like premise to it. So that kind of makes sense. Like I could see him getting on board with an interesting premise.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they make them evil. That'd be cool, because I mean, unless they're gonna eventually get a payoff, what's the point? Unless they're like, turning them into the little like white-haired, glowing-eyed children.
Was that Village of the Damned? Yeah.
Right. Well, apparently the book plays a lot on the themes of like exploring the idea of these parents going from the victim role to the criminal role, because it forces them into that situation. I don't know. All right. Next. This is also from deadline.com because they're
on it.
They've been breaking a bunch of stories. Okay, StreamYard, you need to move. Okay, there we go. Okay. Ray Bradbury's The Halloween Tree in the works as a movie at Warner Brothers with Will Dunn adapting. I'm not familiar with Will Dunn, but it's the Halloween Tree.
I like Ray Bradbury.
Right.
So know I said in that voice.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to say about this. I thought, it's Ray Bradbury.
Yeah, no, I'm sold. I would watch that for sure.
I'm gonna move along.
Okay.
They don't all need to inspire tons of conversation.
I'm like kind of piggybacking this and what we were talking about before, an adaptation that I'd like to see them try again, that I think that they could do better. Dresden Files would be a fun adaptation, because it's kind of like what if a noir detective were Harry Potter kind of thing. It was like, hey, I'm going to hire you to fix this. I mean, it's kind of like Hellraiser. It's kind of like John Constantine a little bit. And I think there's a lot of books out there. Like the Dresden Files are pretty,
Mm-hmm.
It's a well beloved series, and they tried it. They got that one guy that played Captain Lance in Arrow. He was Dresden back when he had hair, and he was fun. But like it lasted for a season, and that was that, and it was done.
I mean, purely judging him just on his role in Arrow, he's a good, moody police type guy.
Yeah, I like him.
He's very TV police, but maybe that's just because he was on a TV show.
I think he looks better without hair.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, speaking of beloved book series,
yes,
Animorphs movie in the works from Scholastic Entertainment. Okay, so is this after our time? Like the books were like 96 and on. Apparently
yes, I'm gonna say yes, but also I'm the old guy.
That's right. But Melanie, you have no affinity for Animorphs? Most people I've heard when Animorphs, like I've listened to podcasts where Animorphs comes up and derails the entire show, and they just gush about it. It's got to be like people slightly younger than us. They love it. The people love this. There's 56 books.
Would be like our Goosebumps, or
it is. I think it is. It's like, I mean, it has a more central premise, than Goosebumps is, but there's like 56 of them. People love them. Please not like cats. But that's what Paul said. Please not like cats.
They're Animorphs like cats.
Paul says I like the books.
I don't believe I've ever read any. I've never read even one of them. So
I didn't know they were a thing, and I was like, I remember seeing them when I was younger and being like, yeah, that looks cheesy AF. Animorphs. Oh, okay.
I've heard of them. I don't remember when they were big. If they were big when I was student teaching.
You know what? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say it looks like conspiracy theories in a book form to me. Like I looked at it and I was like, oh no, this is talking about
the lizard people.
The lizard people. The Earth is flat.
They're gonna make our frogs gay.
We never went to the moon.
Just looking at like the cover design, I'm guessing that it came out not too long after The Matrix or Matrix Reloaded.
Right. Well, okay.
They're totally stealing that kind of aesthetic for their book cover.
So, it was the original run ran from was published between 96 and 2001. The main plot of this is according to HollywoodReporter.com. The main plot of Animorphs follows 5 teens, Jake, Morocco, Cassie, Rachel, and Tobias, who have the ability to morph into any animal they touch. They use their powers to fight a secret alien invasion of Earth. Yeah, there's 54 books.
What if you don't have any animals?
Oh.
There was a Canadian produced television series that ran for 2 seasons in the late 90s.
Oh.
I'm a little surprised this is also, Scholastic Entertainment getting like right in there and producing it. Also, Scholastic apparently, they of course they own the properties or whatever, but we're involved with the Sony's Goosebumps movies and the upcoming live-action animation hybrid adaptation of Clifford the Big Red Dog, which is due out November.
Isn't there also Jeff Smith's Bone coming out too? Like, man, Scholastic is just all over the place.
Yeah.
They're like, we're going to force you to read whether you like it or not.
It's time. Okay. Well, apparently people use their ability. Okay, Paul says people use their abilities to change into animals for the betterment of mankind. In each of the books, each person had a specific animal.
Did they carry them around with them all the time? Like in little backpacks and stuff? So they're like, oh no, it's time. Come here, puppy. And then they,
they like just have to reach back and touch it. That way they can change. It's like a Green Arrow. He has the different like arrows in his quiver. It's like that. You go back and touch just a different one. Yeah. Turn into a different thing.
It's like the Green Arrow version of Beast Boy.
Yeah.
People slightly younger than us love this. Was it a familiar like Sabrina in her animal? Okay. Well, apparently, our audience is not into Animorphs. I kind of expected the story to get more reaction, but that's okay. That's an appropriate reaction. I don't know.
Yeah. What else we got?
Back in my day, we had visionaries, and they just had like a hologram on their chest, and then that's where that animal came from.
Well, darn, dang.
Yeah, that's how that works.
That's how that works.
The sticker. Yeah, sticker on your chest is great.
Okay. Okay, so this one, why am I so excited for this? I don't know why. I don't know why I'm excited for this.
It's perplexing. It's like, I don't know. It's like watching a train wreck, really.
I feel like I'm more excited for this.
Here's a little spoiler, guys. It's going to suck.
Right. Okay. At long last, fans get a first peek at Snyder Cut of Justice League. We didn't used to be one of those podcasts that always talked about Snyder Cut. We are now.
We can't help ourselves. No.
I'm more excited for it now that like it's all run its course than I ever was initially.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so basically what's his name that plays Cyborg, I believe, was the first one to post it, but since then Zack Snyder's posted.
Jason Momoa was.
What?
Said Jason Momoa, Aquaman.
Oh, okay. Well, Jason Momoa was the first to post it.
Yes.
Bro's probably set his timer wrong. What time? Oh, it doesn't matter. I got axes to throw. He seems super cool.
My man!
Everybody likes him, man.
He is super cool.
Since then, Zack Snyder's posted the video, and you can actually find the video on, apparently there's HBO Max YouTube channel. They have a posting of the video, but it's the same thing that ran. That's playing audio.
You're flirting with fire here.
I know. Here, we'll do this. Watch. How's this, viewers?
Yeah, you should check out the YouTube page. Maybe that would be probably more enjoyable than watching this. But
so here's the main thing. Here's the takeaway. It's a teaser trailer. It's got like 3 shots from the movie that we've never seen. Zack Snyder Cut Justice League, and it's all about Darkseid.
Yeah,
which is interesting. Like, did they really cut Darkseid out of the movie entirely?
Yeah, that was supposedly going to be kind of the payoff. I think is that what's his name? Wolfenstein, not Wolfenstein. Steppenwolf.
Wolfenstein.
Yeah, they killed a lot of Nazis.
Right.
Antifa. I mean, it was a whole thing. No, like that was his whole thing. Was he was going to open up the portal for Apocalypse or something, and that's where it was going to head, and it was supposed to be almost like a 2-parter kind of thing, and Darkseid was supposed to be a big deal. So it's interesting that they're acknowledging that at least. Yeah,
is this teaser just teasing us for the end of the movie or miniseries, whatever it turns out to be?
Probably, yeah.
Because at first it's like, whoa, like there's a whole Darkseid thing. Like, how much of this movie did they cut out? But like, yeah, you're right.
No, they were original. Because remember, way back in the day, it was Justice League Part 1,
right?
And then there was going to be a Justice League Part 2,
and then Batman v Superman happened, and the studio was like,
"Ooh,
just not make as much." I mean, it made money, but it didn't make as much money as it should have.
which it made like more money than the Bible. I don't know. Maybe not the Bible. Maybe that's a bad idea, but I went there anyways. So I mean, but like it made a lot of money. It like broke records and
this is the show now.
And somehow Warner Brothers wasn't okay with it, and they started like scrapping stuff.
Man,
I don't know how you make that much money and be like, oh, I really don't know. Maybe we should just give up on the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense to me. Like granted, I have been firmly on the record saying how much I'm not a huge fan of the theatrical cut of Batman v Superman, but when you make that much money, you clearly have an audience.
Yeah. Maybe they're like, it's Batman and Superman. It should have made all the money. And they're right.
It should have beat Star Wars or something.
Because the studios, I don't think they don't care about critical reception. They don't care if a majority of the audience hated it. It still made money. That's all they're interested in.
Yeah.
I was watching some video the other day, some YouTube video where they were talking about that, and they're like, the Transformer movies are terrible, but they never changed the formula because each movie kept making more and more money. The studio don't care. They're like, just do it again, do it the same.
Right.
We don't care what the critics think. It's making money.
Yeah.
So whatever they had projected for how much those two movies were going to bring in, Batman v Superman and then Justice League, were clearly not within what they were hoping for.
Huh. It's some weird math because, like, by all other accounts, they were a crazy success.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind. I'm not saying anything.
Okay. I don't know why I'm excited for it. I shouldn't be because of little tidbits like this. Wow, another Los Angeles Times article. I'm not actually going to read the article. This is just, I've read this a couple places, but basically fans get a, oh, that's no wonder. Okay. No, that's not it either. You know what? No more screen share for the time being. Basically, where did I put it? Oh, I must have. No, there it is. I'm just clicking the wrong stuff.
My cursor was on it. That probably threw you off.
Oh, that might be. Zack Snyder reveals death of Robin details in Justice League because Batman v Superman teased a lot of things that didn't ever get paid off, including, which this is not something that needed to be paid off. This is just, if anything, this was just like an interesting nod and like
it was like a curiosity because I just figured, oh man, they jumped right over to Jason Todd, and this lets us know that no, they did not.
What is that?
So
thing?
Okay, this is I don't know what he's holding there. It looks like a cane. This is in Batman v Superman. Batman has the suit of a Robin suit, a very Batman v Superman looking Robin suit. It's very dull and brown looking. In the case, like Batman does, and it's got like spray painted from the Joker, something about haha, jokes on you, Batman. So like, since we had an older Batman, the idea was like, well, it's the dead Jason, because he has oftentimes in the comics, he has the dead Jason outfit in a case. That's his like creepy memorial or whatever. So yeah, I think most people assumed he followed the comics. It's like, oh, it's Jason Todd. Yeah, that's interesting. There's some Batman history. Apparently, though, it wasn't meant to be Jason Todd. It was Dick Grayson.
Batman failed on the first go, yo.
Right. So, like, that's the thing with Zack Snyder's interpretation. Like, it's okay to change it, but, like, why make weird changes that, like, why? Why would you not just go with Jason Todd?
Yeah, even if you were going to jump over Dick Grayson entirely and just ignore it and still make it that Batman failed on the first go, you could still just make it you can make it Jason Todd because that's already happened. It's a nod, it's fan service, whatever, but it makes sense. All of those things make sense.
Was there never going to be the possibility that you're going to bring Nightwing into the universe? And if in that case,
now it's got to be Tim.
Jason, yeah, Tim. Yeah. So then who's going to be Red Robin?
Yeah, right.
I mean, they don't need a Red Robin, but still.
They don't, you know. I mean, I'm okay with Tim being Nightwing. I mean, you could totally do that. That'd be fine with me. Yeah, it's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, they can all be whoever. I don't care.
Tim's the best Robin. Nuts.
That's
true.
So that one is I don't know which one you're talking about. That one is a neuron firing, or it's supposed to be, and then that one's supposed to be a space compass. I don't know which one you're talking about.
All right, let me go to
neuron.
Oh, that's not going to work. Nope. Okay.
Neuron, space compass. So whichever one you're talking about.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. In Batman or The Dark Knight Returns, is it Jason Todd that's the former dead Robin? Or I mean, is it Dick Grayson? Because I feel like that came out before the whole Jason Todd thing.
Ooh, that's a good question.
And my question is, has Zack Snyder ever read any other Batman comics or any other DC comics? Has he only ever read The Dark Knight? And he's like, well, I know Superman in that, and I know Batman in that. That's our universe.
That makes a lot of sense if that's the case.
Honestly, it does.
Yep.
Okay. Well, let's keep on the DC front. This is from InsideRadio.com. Warner Brothers bringing the DC superheroes and supervillains to podcasting. This was one of those stories that slipped through in my podcast collection of news stories, and I was like, that's relevant.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? DC's characters were already in the podcast world. Thanks to us.
That's right. Are they going to pick up our Swamp Thing? Our Swamp Thing, House of Mystery number Swamp Thing?
Number Swamp Thing. Yeah.
Halloween special 2017, I think.
Yep.
You're right. Okay, so yeah, DC Comics are coming to podcasts. Warner Brothers has signed a multi-year deal to produce and distribute an original slate of narrative scripted podcasts based on a range of characters from Batman to Wonder Woman to Harley Quinn, Superman, and the Joker. So yeah, kind of like Marvel had a deal with with Stitcher at one point, right? And they did like a Wolverine one. I don't know if there were other ones.
No,
and it's
Wolverine for sure. Was it like The Long Night or something like that?
Right. So I'm wondering, narrative scripted podcasts. Okay, so I'm wondering if it's going to take the audio drama style route. That's the most interesting to me if you're going to do like a narrative thing.
I mean, who knows? How would it go?
The podcast. So they have a partnership with who else but Spotify, who's buying all things podcasts.
Buying Joe Rogan.
They're pouring so much money into this stuff. But basically it's like a first look deal to where like anything they come up with, then like, hey, Spotify, check this out. You want it? Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. We don't have to get into the details, the business details, but yeah, under the deal, Spotify will have a first look at original scripted narrative DC podcasts. Yeah.
Just like anything else, like this, what would you call it? I mean, it's an adaptation. We're used to seeing it as a comic book, but you've seen it happen a lot of different ways in the past, like novelizations where you'll have X-Men novels, you'll have, X-Men video games, so on and so on and so on. So podcasts, that's a fun new way to take it, I suppose.
Right.
I actually kind of feel like we're regressing slightly, but in an interesting way. So now it's like, instead of everybody sitting around the radio listening to the shows, they're going to be like sitting in their car or at the computer listening to their shows
by themselves through headphones. Yeah.
Which it's kind of like Power Records, but without the book,
the accompanying comic book.
Yeah.
Put one out. Why not? Bring it back.
Yeah.
2 for 1. Like you could listen to the podcast, or you could also buy this complimentary book that follows the podcast and you just flip through it.
Or you can buy the book and the podcast is free.
Oh, that's a good thing. They'd be like, come and hurry up and buy your book before the podcast comes out so you can follow along.
I do kind of feel a little bit like Spotify's putting in place or gathering stuff together for a like subscription based. I could be wrong. This is just popped in my head just now.
I mean, we have the family, whatever. We have that family subscription, so you don't have the ads. So I hope that we'll just get in on that and it just won't change. But like beyond that, I'm like,
like a Netflix for podcasts. I've heard that thrown around once in a while. And as a podcaster, every time my knee-jerk reaction is F you. No, we don't need it. Get out of here. Get out of here with that. Nobody wants that.
Did you see Paul's most recent comment? I think that could be funny. to do like a mockumentary podcast approach to the heroes.
Paul, welcome to the Parentless Podcast, a support group for people who've lost their parents. We're your hosts, Batman and Superman. Today's guest, Barry Allen.
Yeah.
That
would be a good parody show. I don't know. I don't care who you are.
It'd be called the Martha Cast. And it's just like,
how did you say that name?
Two dudes weeping for an hour. Martha.
Oh God.
I Googled Martha. There's so many women named Martha. I started calling them and asked if they'd be my mommy. I'll make that podcast right now. Spotify, DC, call me.
Just to listen to their voicemail message.
Martha.
They don't sound anything like my Bob. They're doing it wrong. Woo! Where are we going and why are we in this handbasket?
Okay. Also, like, it's also a partnership in general with like Warner Brothers, so it sounds like it could also open the door to like other properties Warner Brothers owns, not just DC. But Martha, that's just fun to do.
Yeah.
Okay, quick video game news. Actually, I have two quick video game newses. Newsies. Oh, Melanie's got a smile. Actually, I got three quick video game newses. Okay, so first, I don't have a story for Melanie's, but Melanie sent me a video of the Unreal 5 demo thing that they released, which is Unreal 5 is like it's a game engine that they build. Like a lot of games are built on Unreal Engine 4 at this point. I don't know really what to say about it. It looked impressive, but like most tech demos, there's also like you got to be a little bit of like, yeah, but implement all that in an actual game and get back to me. Like I want to see it. I want to see a GTA or something looking that good.
Did they add Miles Morales in it? Because I'm gonna need more pictures of Spider-Man.
Right. It would be helpful if I brought up the video, but not Unreal. Not Unreal Tournament, but I feel like Unreal Tournament was based on the Unreal Engine. Was built on Unreal Engine as like it's that. Because Unreal is Epic Games. Epic Games made that. So like a big portion of where their money actually comes from is licensing the engine out to a big portion of the other developers. Super impressive though. Super impressive. Like, we don't need to get into it.
Yeah.
The other bit of news real quick was just because I don't know, a lot of people are super excited for this. Cyberpunk 2077 release date delayed once again. So you two probably don't know, but everyone in gaming is crapping themselves for this game and have been apparently for like a year and a half at least. But it's by CD Projekt Red, who also did the Witcher games, which people like quite a bit. And yeah, it's Cyberpunk 2077. It's got Keanu Reeves.
That's the only thing I know about it.
You can customize your genitalia.
It's breathtaking.
It's a big deal. You can customize your genitalia. It's a
That's
big deal.
Crazy.
It's breathtaking.
So right, exactly. Whoa. Yeah, whatever. It's because the thing with Witcher is like, and CD Projekt Red in general is like super like immersive, impressive open worlds, you know, like Skyrim, but like more detail, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think people are super excited about the idea of that kind of like super high detailed open world, travel around, action stuff, do things, just live in the world in a cyberpunk world.
Yeah.
Kind of like The Matrix.
Right. But it got delayed. It was set to when it was previously supposed to be September after other delays, and it got pushed back to January. But this is kind of like a Rockstar game situation where I don't hear people get too bent out of shape when something like this gets pushed back because most people are just like, it's just going to be better then.
Yeah.
There's no need to rush it.
Right. Just do it right.
Right.
We don't need another Fallout 76.
Right. Exactly.
Too
Exactly.
soon?
Where they just push.
Too soon.
Where they just push a thing out, and yeah. Oh, and then the other one I want to mention is, and I only seen this because Jasper had mentioned it in comments or in messages.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then so I looked it up. So Skate 4 has been announced. EA did a thing today, and they announced Skate 4, which is a sequel. A lot of, like, I never got super big into the skate games, which might be kind of odd given how excited I am for Tony Hawk. But it's a sequel a lot of people have like really been like on EA about for years and years. Like, where we want another skate game. Where's another skate game? And it's so funny to me that the, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 remaster, like, it was announced and I'm guessing is doing all right. I bought it already. It doesn't even come out till September. And then EA today announced Skate, a new Skate. It's happening. There's no logo to the show. There's no gameplay footage because they haven't even started it. The guys are just like, we've been having secret talks, and we could tell you it's early, but it's happening. And it just made me laugh so hard because I'm like, you guys literally have nothing. You're just like, Skate. People are actually excited about Tony Hawk. Skate. We're gonna do it.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's so funny to me. But yeah, Skate 4. If you like the skate games, that's something to be excited about. It's not gonna be out for like 2 years probably, but
2077.
Right.
Maybe when you're tired of Tony Hawk, it'll come out.
Skate is interesting. Skate was like the Tony Hawk's not skateboarding. This is skateboarding. So it's like a little more kind of like technical,
a little more
feeling.
realistic.
More realistic.
Which means less fun.
People like it, but the arcadey aspect of Tony Hawk is what I like about Tony Hawk. I like stupid over the top combos.
Right.
And Skate was the other, the not that.
I want to grind all the way down, like half of them all, and then jump up through some like glass stuff and smash it, and then land in a loop and stick it or something. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And I want to be able to cheat code moon physics, and I want to be Spider-Man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
You can in Tony Hawk.
I know.
I wonder if they're gonna have, because Spider-Man was, I think it was Tony Hawk 2 was
2 or
unlockable
3. 2 or
character.
3. Yeah.
I wonder if they'll,
because Wolverine, which one was Wolverine? Wolverine was 3, maybe. I don't know. Spidey was one of them, and Wolvie was another one.
Spidey was the best unlockable character for a skateboarding game because you could kick the board away from you and then web it back. So good, so smart. Like, of course, that's what he would do.
Yeah.
I've been playing, so I haven't been streaming that much this week. I don't know, maybe I'll start streaming them, but I've been playing Tony Hawk 3 and 4.
Oh, fun!
Not a lot, but a bit.
Can you stream those? Like, do you have them on Steam somehow, or
no?
So do you need like a?
I don't have them on stream.
Oh.
On Steam. I own them legally, and I own the consoles they were originally on legally, so I can emulate them.
There, okay.
That's what I've been doing. There were PC versions, but you can't find them. They don't sell them. They don't sell any Tony Hawk games on PC now. Like, they have, and then they discontinued. Like, you can't get them.
Right. And then they didn't update. So if you did have a copy that played on PC, they wouldn't run on today's OS.
I even looked at it, and like, I think you get them to run, but like the controller support apparently is kind of a pain. And I'm like, or I could just emulate it and the controller works fine. So I've been debating streaming those for that reason. The other thing with Tony Hawk games, because I'm definitely going to stream the new one when it comes out, I have to turn the music down, which is kind of like turn the music off.
Oh,
yeah. Like, you can't have it. Steam's actually been getting cracked down on for that, for that in videos, music and videos. But yeah. Anyway, Skate 4.
Woo!
which was so exciting. We talked about Tony Hawk some more.
Right? People are, dude. It's one of those things. Like it's a stupid fanboy arguments. Oh, skate, no, Tony Hawk. Like it's such a like. Even on Twitter today, I seen it because Tony Hawk started trending, and I was looking at it, and it was a lot of that on both sides, and it's just like, oh man, that's some
What
early aughts game
did they
fanboy.
Did they use the hashtag? Like, did they to announce their Skate 4? They didn't.
I don't think so.
It was like, oh, it's trending. We better use that hashtag and announce
No,
our
it's
name.
It's pretty funny because it got announced and Tony Hawk was the term that was trending, but it was still all about skate still.
Funny.
What else we got?
Nerds know. I mean, like you can't.
Right.
And try to surprise us. Like, oh yeah, why are you announcing this?
Paul says, I want a roller derby game.
I mean, if they did a good one,
Yeah.
but like none of the ones that have been made in the past have been any good. Okay, I'll take that back. There was one that was fun, but it doesn't really count because it was a pinball game.
Oh.
There was a roller derby pinball machine that was pretty rad, but I couldn't even tell you what it was called. But it was cool.
I want a good rollerball game. Was there ever a game called based on rollerball?
That would be a good pinball machine. Rollerball.
And it also reminds me of Mutant League Football and stuff. Those weird Sega games. And I was like, I don't like the sport. I don't like the sports. I don't like the sports games. But Mutant League games were cool because I was like, they're ridiculous. You're mutants. You could like strap a bomb to the football and throw it and blow up the other players. It's like stupid stuff.
That's what I liked about, was it Mega Man Soccer? Did you ever play that on it was on Super Nintendo, and it was soccer, but it was with all the Mega Man guys. And so like you would kick the ball, and whoever kicked the ball could also add the Mega Man power to it.
Right.
So it would just like blast through the goalie if it was the right guy. So
that's funny.
So like soccer, no. Mega Man Soccer, heck yeah.
I just like arcadey things, because like NBA Jam
was
was actually
was
a super solid game, but that's because it was like an arcade version of basketball. It was over the top.
Same thing as NFL Blitz was fun too, like, and I don't normally care about football games.
Savannah's down for Mega Man Soccer.
Yes.
Okay, this one might be. Let's get back on track, I guess. This is from a lot of Deadline breaks a lot of stories. All right, I'm not just stealing Deadline stuff because actually a lot of Deadline's articles I get to from other articles on the story where I'm like, where's the original source? Dune heading back to Europe for additional shooting in August. So
you're up to no good.
Oh. So yeah, Dune. They're making another Dune, which is fine because I
never heard of it.
It feels like a movie. This will be the third. I guess one of them was a miniseries, but like this will be like the third version.
It doesn't look any good right now. Like I don't like that picture. It's not any good.
No. There's our review of the movie. Based on that picture alone.
It could do with a little bit more spice.
So the whole story, I mean, for me, obviously the story was, hey, Dune movie. It's still, that's a thing. It's happening.
Dune will always be a thing because Dune is fantastic.
Is it? I've never read it. I've watched one of the many David Lynch cuts because David Lynch directed the first one. That was like his first big studio movie.
Honestly, I've never watched any of the movies, but I've read like half of the books at least. But there's a lot of them. I've read like 5 or 6.
Jerry the Gnome, what's going on, man? He says Dune is great.
Yes, it is.
Oh, Paul says Deadline borrows from Variety a lot. Yeah, when I searched through, Deadline and Variety seem to break decent entertainment stories. Earlier today, I was looking for like different sites. Like, okay, let's a rundown of the week's interesting entertainment. If you type entertainment news, it's all like entertainment and celebrity news. No. That's not what we do.
We don't need any more Kardashian stuff.
Oh, and it's there. Kim Kardashian's launching a podcast.
Of course she is.
She got to deal with Spotify. Of course.
I was gonna say.
Of course.
I didn't even need to know the rest of the headline there. I was like, was it with Spotify?
Right.
And I like Spotify. Don't get me wrong. It's just like, come on. You're going to be the Walmart of podcasts if you don't watch.
It's so, oh, I know, right? And it's so weird. They were so late to the game, and like, they were one of the services that kind of seemed to fight against it until they're like, nope, we're just going to buy it.
Well, and then they bought Gimlet, and it was like, oh, yeah, man, you're serious. If you're buying Gimlet.
Yep. Let's see. There's not a whole lot. Basically, from the reports I've seen, it's not a case of like a problematic production and reshoots. It's like normal, like they need to get some pickups, or maybe there's some reshoots or something. Like there's not word that it's in trouble like you usually hear when you hear about reshoots.
Right.
And I think, interestingly, like the movie technically wrapped shooting last summer. So it is weird that it would be so long to come back for some reshoots, but Corona, that's really that's kind of the thing. Like, so they're going to head back to Budapest, Hungary, where the movie was shot in 2019. They're going to do some pickups there, and like those are some of the countries opening up to filming again earliest, because most countries are like, nope, no filming, we're all on lockdown. So as basically they're going to go where they can start filming again. Countries are easing up on restrictions. That's it. That's pretty much the story. Dune. From what I've seen of Dune stuff, the David Lynch stuff, I've seen a bunch of that. God, what was it? I think it was the early 2000s, maybe even late 90s miniseries.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that. I think we even watched a little bit of it, but I don't remember. Like, it was actually less compelling than the original Dune movie was, because that thing was crazy pants. So
Jerry the Gnome says they needed pickups. The CGI is James Dean.
He's spicy.
Is that a thing? Is that like a? Are you trying to get a catchphrase?
well, spice is a thing in Dune, obviously.
Oh, I missed
the spice.
I'm not on the game enough to catch a Dune reference.
Should be. It's good.
Okay, this is kind of should be. I know. I'm sorry. This is kind of a nothing story. This is a nothing story. But if there's going to be a Mad Max Fury Road or Furiosa or Mad Max anything story, we're covering it.
Yes.
So Mad Max Fury Road's Zoe Kravitz shares blunt thoughts on Furiosa being recast for the prequel. That's a headline that grabs your attention. Oh, there's going to be drama. She's going to be like, they can't recast her. Charlize Theron, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so Zoe Kravitz she played one of the wives that they rescued, in Fury Road.
Mm-hmm.
And she was on a podcast, the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast. It's a roller coaster. And she said, when asked about it, quote, if I recall correctly, talking about the director, if I recall correctly, he always spoke about wanting to do a Furiosa prequel. I didn't know he was going to recast her. Look, man, if I learned anything from being in Fury Road, it's shut up and trust George Miller. I'm just going to shut my mouth and say, go to work, maestro, because I don't know what else I can say to that man, end quote. She's just like, listen, George Miller does good stuff. Just trust him. I ain't going to tell him no.
Yeah, that's like us with like, they're like, it's Taika Waititi. We're going to watch it. It's going to be great. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He touched it. It's gold.
He just cast. I'm trying to make up a story, but
get out of here. Get out of here, ghost. See ya, new Doug.
I missed that comment. I'm guessing that was during the Dune stuff.
Yeah.
John Lovitz. He just cast John Lovitz as Thor.
So
he knows what he's doing.
I mean, he wouldn't do that just willy-nilly. He's got a plan.
Right. And now and Thor has an imaginary Hitler friend. He knows what he's doing.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Right. So no, yeah. I just thought it was funny because it's another case of the headline like Elevator Man is Thor. Who's Elevator Man?
That's a character.
Sign me up.
Yeah. Actually though, I think what would be funny is if Taika Waititi did Frog Thor, I would see that movie. If he went classic Simonson Thor, I would see that movie. I believe he could do it.
But yeah, it's another case of like the headline indicating that maybe there's some drama, and there's not. She's just like, whatever, man. He can do what he wants. He's George Miller. You tell him he can't. You tell him he can't.
Right.
All right. Next year's Oscars delayed over coronavirus. It's delayed 8 weeks.
So it'll still be before the end of the year, basically.
It'll be they do it after the beginning of the year.
Oh, right.
Kind of catch. Also it's going to be delayed.
So yeah. Will that change the deadline, or will they still just do the end of the year?
It will extend the deadline for movies that they accept, which I feel more than anything is probably the reason for the actual reason for the delay.
Mm-hmm.
The delay, because it's a rough year for movies. Not a lot of stuff getting released. They're just like, we're gonna have to pick like all the movies won because like 5 came out.
Best actor in a comedy,
Bloodshot.
Alex Winter. Bill from Bill and Ted Face the Music.
Right.
I'm game. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Best script, Bloodshot. I didn't watch it. I just know that's not gonna come on.
Stuber gets a nod. They won't win, but Stuber will get a nod.
Like, didn't that come out last year? It doesn't matter. We need movies.
Yeah, right.
But apparently and honestly, I don't care about the Oscars. Like, that's not something we ever talk about on the show.
Right.
Yeah.
Trolls sweeps the board. Oh no. Well, no, Hollywood's not the ones that are sore about that. I could see them letting Trolls in. It just depends. It depends what happens.
And then AMC would be like, "We're out.
We're out."
You're like, you weren't in.
We're not showing. We're banning Trolls. Like, we didn't give it to you.
We're not going to show the Academy Awards anymore. You never did that.
But apparently, this is only the 4th time it's ever been delayed in the history of its happening.
Cool.
It's all right, man. Okay. The last bit of news I have, well, that's not actually news. I just kind of put there as a note to talk about the people that are in it. There was a trailer we watched that I thought was interesting. If nothing else, because of the people involved, because it's got people best director Patty Jenkins for Wonder Woman 1984. Hasn't come out yet. Who knows? Oh, they're gonna push that out as fast as they can. I don't know, man. It seems like
Well, we got Black Widow too. I mean, like, we got a lot of things like they're just like, well, we'll wait and see. They're gonna have to make some concessions at a certain point and just realize that they're gonna get what they're gonna get.
Right.
Like, or you're gonna have to reinvent the business model somehow. You're just gonna have to embrace it one way or the other.
There's just it's gonna all be CGI James Dean, like
I mean, just embrace it. Just embrace it. He's a rebel without a cause. How do you not get behind that?
CGI James Dean is Wonder Woman.
Just do it.
It's a it's gonna upset a few people.
Replace Chris Pine. It's okay.
Right? Let him go.
let him go, Diana. Let him go.
We watched a trailer for a movie called The Rental. Man, there could be fun marketing in there if like the Rental.
Feel like this is also another thing they could really just capitalize on this whole coronavirus thing, because this also makes me anxious, just like Color Out of Space does, because it's like this is all happening inside the house.
Okay, so yeah, this trailer, I think it's an IFC film.
That makes
But
sense.
yeah, it's a horror movie about, it looks like it's about people who, maybe like an Airbnb situation or something. They go and rent this place. And then according to the trailer, like it looks like then there's like the dude's creeping on them because there's like cameras or something and they get creeped out. And then it just looks like it kind of goes like it's billed as like a horror slasher or a horror thriller, but it looks like it kind of goes slasher.
Yeah.
But the main thing is it's a horror movie starring Allison Brie of Glow and Community, and Dan Stevens of Legion and The Guest, the two things I know him from. I'm sure he's in other stuff. And directed by Dave Franco, James's younger brother, who he's in stuff. This is his first like full feature. He's directed a short film before, but this is his first full length movie that he's directed. Yeah. So basically, the names attached caught my eye. I was like, I like all those people.
Yeah.
And also it has, I can't remember her name offhand, but the lead from that super interesting vampire movie from a couple years ago, a girl walks home alone at night or something.
Oh yeah. The Saudi Arabia or something, was it?
Yeah. It was like a black and white vampire movie set in, hold on, where was it? This doesn't say. Sheila Vand is her name. I don't remember exactly where it was set, but yeah, like a Middle Eastern setting.
Yeah.
So yeah. That
looks
said,
all right. It looks all right. I don't know. It looks like something I'd watch on Netflix, though. It doesn't look like something I'd go to the theater for or pay extra theater at home money for.
That's the thing. Like, if it didn't have those names attached, I'd be like, oh, okay, maybe that's good. If I hear a bunch of good stuff about it, I'll see it. Otherwise, I'll probably never think of this again.
Right.
like a
Netflix original.
Right. Like if it pops up on Netflix, I'll be like, the rental, what's that? But it's got some interesting names attached. I like Dan Stevens and Allison Brie a lot. They're both great.
Yep.
And Melanie said in messages when I shared the video, the trailer with them, that what'd you say about Dan Stevens' range?
Said he's got great range. He can go from goofy to like terrifying in like 0.004 seconds. He's just like like it's insane. It's great.
Yeah. And as we said at the beginning of the show, we've been watching a lot of Legion, and he kind of does that range in Legion, but Legion, he is kind of goofy. And I've been thinking about The Guest recently while watching it, because this is the first time we've been watching Legion since I had rewatched The Guest for GCU a while back. And it's like, he's one of those actors where like certain roles, it's like, it doesn't seem like the same person. Like just his stature, like his, like a totally different size. I think we lost Jesse.
Did we?
Did you see? Yeah. He's frozen now. That was so weird because there was like a weird electric sound, and then his picture froze. Yeah.
Oh, it's okay.
It just happened in a very weird way.
Yeah. So now
there were some interesting storms earlier. I was a little worried.
It was like raining in the sunshine, and that always creeps me out.
Right.
It's not allowed to happen, but it does it.
Yeah, there's a lot of lightning and stuff. I was a little worried that if it was going to carry on into the evening. It was very much like, better download something or figure out something to do in case the internet goes, because my internet tends to go in weather like that. Yeah. Then he dropped out.
I think there's something either wrong with my eyeballs or with my electricity, because it seems like my room keeps going bright and dark and bright and dark, and I don't know if it's because it's next to you, and it's like an optical illusion, or if it's real.
It stopped doing it, but no, it was actually doing it for a moment.
Okay.
At least in the camera.
I'm not just a crazy person.
But was it happening there in real life? Is the world ending right now? Is reality on? Mel was flickering. Is reality unfolding?
No.
Okay. Good.
We're not on salvia.
No, that's true.
Sorry.
We need to coordinate with the Last Starfighters group.
Should we?
So we need to, so they don't go live when we're live.
Are they live?
Yeah.
Well,
I feel like, I wonder if Jesse's power went or something, or his internet connection, because that definitely is what that seemed like to me.
my place might be built on an Indian burial ground. We got a ghost cat. So who knows?
That sounds like a pet cemetery.
Maybe it's an Indian pet cemetery. Or excuse me, a Native
Native American pet
pet
cemetery.
cemetery. Yeah, I heard that they calculated the Mayan calendar wrong, and it's now.
God, that was really weird. I'm very interested to see. Ghost Cat. You know what that reminds me of? Ghost Dog, Way of the Samurai. That's a great movie. Forrest Whitaker. Jim Jarmusch directed. Go watch it. Great movie.
Yep, it is. It's good.
I mean, to be honest, we could end the show though, because that was pretty much the end of our story, our news stories.
I'm good with that.
Till Jesse got zapped out of existence.
Yes. Was it Thanos? No, I'm kidding.
Thanos.
Yeah, it is scary. Sorry. Randy's bedroom is scary. I don't like it. It creeps me out. There's something in there. Mixed noises in it.
You creep yourself out.
Sometimes, yes, but it does it. It does it to me.
I know. I'm gonna send him a message.
Oh,
what?
Nothing. All of America is built on an Indian burial ground.
Native American burial ground.
Native American burial ground. It's
or American.
Yeah. Okay. Did you find out?
I haven't even sent it yet.
Okay. So let's recap.
Wait, I was like, you all right? Did your electricity cut out? And then I should need to specify. I don't expect an answer if it did.
Yeah, it's the Metal Hour. Woo!
Melanie.
Yes,
anything we should be amazed about?
Ooh, I didn't think about that. Hold on, let me check it out. I'm sure there is. Let me check my previous posts on some stuff. Because I'm always finding interesting things.
Jesse's power did go out.
Oh, poopy.
Why not text? I'm not my grandpa. Texting is for old people. I'm on Facebook. That's for moderately old people. It's better when there's people here to laugh.
Well, how about some electric car stuff maybe? Or it's not just electric car stuff, they found, okay. So they came out with an electric car battery that could drive a billion mile or a million miles, which is crazy. And then they also came out with a system where they can save like the energy produced by green energy, renewable energy with compressed air. These like systems that whatever. So anyway, we'll be able to save power, so we won't have to rely on fossil fuels, and your cars can go farther. Oh, did I ever talk about the cars? I did. The batteries, the things that can charge your battery while you're driving your car. I talked about that, right?
I remember you talking about it, but I can't remember if it was on the show or in real life.
Oh, okay. Well, there's that.
Okay.
I'm amazed by it. You should be amazed by it.
Do you want to talk about Colorado?
Oh yeah.
You don't have to. I know Savannah was kind of excited to hear you talk about Colorado.
I went to Colorado.
With who?
With Savannah.
How was it? What are some of the highlights?
Their mountains are beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
They have lovely shops.
What do you mean? What kind of shops? Like pet shops?
I'm sure they have those too. That's not what I stopped at, but I'm sure they have them.
Candy shops?
You can buy candy, yes. Yes.
Okay.
And yeah, mountains and like half the things look like Fallout. It's crazy. I'm like, this is a Fallout setting. There's like some like rusted out truck in front of a little metal shack with a like, what do you call that? A big like antenna thing sitting right next to it. I'm like, there's some mutants in there. You can tell. I mean, you know, and that was
some super mutants hiding out back there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, Jesse. I think I already said. Jesse said his power went out. No worries. We're gonna wrap the show anyway. I want to rewatch the replay though because nobody seemed to notice, but I heard a zap sound and like there was a flash. It was either his power went out or he got electrocuted.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesse said the pictures from the trip were awesome. All right, so, hey, Jesse, you got anything to mention before we get off of here? Something always happens when you get on Twitch.
Yep.
You made it happen. You made Jesse's power Twitch. Okay. What have I got coming up? Not a whole lot. Go to growlixpodcast.com. Download the audio replays of this. Download the audio replays. Listen to them. I know the live episodes. Listen, I see the numbers. The live episodes get consistent plays, but they're not as high as they used to be, as the episodes used to be. Man, I think they've been good though. So listen to them.
I think we're great.
And Twitch streaming update. Like, I'm not going to stick to a normal schedule on Twitch anymore. I'm just going to stream randomly. I know that doesn't help anybody, but like I can't do first off, I can't do every day. I was doing every day. And then I was like, I need to reel back. And I took one day off. So it's just going to be like whenever, maybe in the evenings.
Yeah. Or in the afternoon or just not in the morning. That's for sure.
Just not when I'm sleeping in the morning and early afternoon.
Okay. And I wonder why. Why is it you only sleep in the daylight, Randy? Okay.
A boy walks home alone at night.
Right.
I wish I could turn into a bat because I would then shout bat and just fly out of the room. I need to plot this stuff out. I'd come up with some like bad effect to cut to real quick. All right.
Okay.
Melanie, thank you for joining me.
Randall, thank you for joining me.
You're right. That is what it is. I'm joining you. You're right. Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I
even threw a blanket over it.
Throw a blanket over it.
I did.
Jerry the Gnome, Moose, Savannah, everybody else who tuned in. Jesse, he always tunes in. We don't shout him out enough. What he does in the shadows. I like that better.
Yeah.
I like that better. Thanks for watching, everybody, and have a good weekend. Watch out for storms.
Let's go play them. Woo!
Let me grab my umbrella and go watch the lightning.
Remind me to show you my new umbrella later.
You got a new umbrella?
It's so cool.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Mwah.